This shift starts in your head. Romans 12 and 2 tells us to not to be conformed to the patterns of this world, but to be progressively changed by the renewing of our minds so that we may be proof, so that you may prove God's perfect will for your life. Dr. Daniels drops a bar when he says this. He says, you don't change your life by changing your life. You change your life by changing your mind. That means you don't change your finances by changing your finances. You change your finances by shifting in your mindset. You don't have relationships in your life change by switching partners or changing the relationship. It changes by the shifting of your mindset. The shift begins in your mind. And if you look at the changing of your mindset like that being of a renovation, most renovations, you look, there's some form of demolition that takes place. There's a process. There has to be a tearing down of old habits, old thought patterns, even things that maybe once were good. Because I say this all the time. I don't want us to think that because we're getting rid of things that these things were inherently bad. Because a lot of times at one point, these things did serve a purpose. Maybe it didn't, but sometimes they did serve a purpose. But now we want to go on to bigger and better things. So there has to be a demolition process where there's a getting rid of. Next, now how do you replace or fill those voids when we get rid of these bad things? Well, you feed your mind with things that are good, with the Word of God. And not just the Word of God, because you're like, well, I just read the Bible. Okay, also read other books too, okay? That's going to help you. And if you're not a good reader, they have audible books, ways in which that you can fill yourself with knowledge and inspiration and the content that you look at while you're strolling, right? Because we're constant consumers. And I tell you this, if you constantly feed yourself fear, you're going to find yourself with anxiety. If you constantly feed yourself with comparisons, you're going to find that you have a lot of insecurities and jealousy. So what you're feeding yourself, what you're inputting is going to help with the output. The changes that we're looking to see don't happen outwardly first. They happen inwardly. And once we get that inward shift, that inward change, then we become proof to others that God is real. Listen, your transformation, the shift that's getting ready to take place in your mind and in your life is going to be proof to somebody else that God is real. The shift starts first in your head.